Hello, beautiful people. I'm just doing a little update to let you know I am in Wellington in New Zealand. I did make it out of the 50 Shades of Beige room in Christchurch. And a little tip for people who may do hotel isolation in the future. I can't compare it to childbirth because I haven't had childbirth, but afterwards you forget the pain really quickly. So to remind yourself that this too shall pass. But that's not why I'm doing this update today. I've had a really naturopathic experience today talking to a client, and I want to just reinforce something for both people seeking to improve their health and for other naturopaths and herbalists out there. And that is sometimes the simplest path is the best place to start. So one of the problems is, and I know this sounds crazy to say it's a problem, is we have so much research now and we have so many remedies at our hands. I think the materia medica I was taught as a student of herbal medicine in the late 1980s to very early 1990s, we may had to have learned something like 75 different herbs. Now, it's not unusual to have hundreds in a fully stocked dispensary, and many of those come from other traditions. We also, we used to have basic nutrients, and now we have got all sorts of weird and wonderful new nutrients as well. So it can be really overwhelming for a relatively inexperienced practitioner to know where to begin. And so one of the things I say in mentoring is start with the simplest. So the experience I want to share is a first follow-up with a client who presented with GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, who was of course on the usual drugs from the doctor, which are a group of drugs known as H2 antagonists, which can not just impact your gut, but every cell in your body. I didn't give any directions to come off the medication. I just said, also because there were a lot of other things that was going on in their health history, and it was actually really complex, and we ran out of time even for a 75 minutes consult. I hadn't been able to do a decent dietary analysis. I just said, look, for the next couple of weeks, could you please keep a symptom and food and drink diary, and also so write down everything you're eating and drinking, and if you have any pain, any reflux, put that down. But there's just one thing I want you to try. And I said, just cut out fat and flour. I also said coffee and alcohol as well. But you never know if people are going to do that. Well, full star, gold stars, elephant stamps to this client who cut out the coffee, the alcohol, and that combination of fat plus flour. And on 2 occasions, they had bread. And bread usually was with quite a fatty drink, a hot chocolate. They got their symptoms again. And what they've just said to me is, I cannot believe it was this. I cannot believe it was something that was so simple. And it is sometimes. Now, it's so tempting as a practitioner because we want people to heal. We want people to heal fast. I could have made a really lovely herbal prescription. At least I may have given them some nutrients. There's a celluloid that I particularly love for GERD, which is a mineral combination. But I didn't. I said, I want more information, and just try this while you're doing this. So when they came back and they just said, I really don't believe that this is it. I can't believe it was this. And that was followed up by, and I also can't believe that my GP and the gastroenterologist never mentioned food. I did, in their defence, say they're not trained in it. It's beyond their scope of practice. But because they're not trained in it, doesn't mean that they can't refer on to somebody who is. So now we've got a really great base level, and there is some room to increase the body's ability to heal that inflammation with something really simple like slippery elm. There are other health issues that are going on that we can work with in layers and with other referrals to try to maximize somebody's quality of life and general health. So that's my message for today. Whether you're somebody who is trying to improve their health or you're a practitioner, just remember that the layers of treatment, that sometimes it feels like we can throw everything at this problem. And this is what happens if you just wander into a health food store and you say, I've got GERD, can you give me something? They're going to sell you products. They're going to sell you probably more than one product. Maybe you're going to go out with a whole bag full. You might spend $100 or more. But actually it might, if we start with the simplest, then if or when we need to use natural remedies like herbs and supplements, minerals, vitamins, we know what we're doing. We know what's working. And that issue for me is that when we give somebody lifestyle changes and remedies and multiple remedies, and the client responds, the human being responds in a positive way, and they have some freedom from suffering, how do we know? How do we know what's working? So please, I hope you're having a great day. Just like in Christchurch, as you can see, filter curtains shut here in Wellington, and the sun's pouring through. I think the light's brighter and at a different angle than in Australia. Who would imagine? Have a good day. And if you're in Melbourne or Victoria, a special plug to say, a mention to say, I am thinking of you. I know you're really, really struggling. Likewise, people in Auckland at the moment. This too shall pass, and I'm here to help when I can. Take care. Speak to you soon.